Hello, good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock once again on a rainy Saturday and all about safety. And, you know, we're still here. We're still locked up in our houses. I don't know, but some are already going out. Sadly, the ECQ or GCQ has stopped. We don't know. Some are not yet going out, but we're very lucky. We have a returning guest. And without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Engineer Francis Guevarra. He's a professional mechanical engineer. He's been 15 years in his profession. He is a graduate of De La Salle University. He is into mechanical building services, which includes air conditioning and ventilation, diesel, LPG systems, plumbing, drainage, and fire protection systems. So without further ado, Engineer Francis, welcome back and good afternoon. Engineer Francis, you're already on air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Jay. And good afternoon din sa mga tagapagpapakinig.
Okay.
Hello. Yes.
Medyo lakasan mo ang
Good
audio
afternoon
mo,
din.
Francis, para
So, good afternoon sa mga tagapagpakinig din ng
Lakasan mo yung audio ko.
all about safety.
Okay, naghahang tayo di ba? More or less siguro sa internet connection, di ba? Pero, could you hear me, Engineer Francis? Could you hear me? Pero mahina yung audio mo, Engineer.
Yeah, okay na. Narinig ka kita. Sige.
Okay, so for our listeners, our topic today is air conditioning during the pandemic times. Engineer Francis, does air conditioning has the effect on the spread of the coronavirus? Do you have any, what's your word on this?
Okay. So, naglabas ng position document si Ashray noong April. So, they were talking about actually two position documents. So, yung first one was noong February. The second one was noong April. So, noong April, they were talking about more COVID-19. Unlike yung sa January, they were talking about in general, general viruses and bacteria. So, ang sinasabi dun sa position document is may pagka-airborne yung ating virus. Kasi pwede siya mag-float sa air.
Okay.
So, going back sa question kanina, so yung air movement ng air conditioning, so yes, may somehow na-influence yung air inside the space para medyo, posible lang kumalat. So, yes, may possibility, yes. Yan ang sinasabi ni Ashray. So, that's why ang sinasabi sa atin, always wear face mask, face shield, and parang may 2-meter physical distancing because of that reason.
So there are now new studies that this virus is somewhat airborne. Yun ba? Based on yung Philippine mechanical engineers. Meron ba?
Ang nagsabi nung si Ashray. Then we adapt yung sabi ni Ashray. Ang ibig sabihin ng Ashray, it's the American Society of Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigerating Engineers. So we use this as reference here sa Philippines din, with the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers.
All right, okay. So there is already this in the United States. There is this parang guideline on air conditioning design, di ba?
Yes.
Long before I have read, avid follower mo ako, engineer. Long before the pandemic or the coronavirus, there was already an issue, di ba? Kung ang mga hospitals natin, compliant yan sa ASHRAE, right? Tama ba?
Yes.
So, ang mga hospitals ba natin?
Oh, yes. Sa private sector, I would vouch for the private sector muna. So, sa private sector, ang design criteria ng mga hospital, so ang fina-follow as benchmark for air conditioning and ventilation is ASHRAE standard 170 and ASHRAE standard 62.1. So itong dalawang standards ito talks about yung minimum air change, minimum outdoor ventilation, minimum exhaust. So kumbaga itong guidelines ito, so depende sa space inside the hospital. So i-implement lang ng contractor yon or designer para ma-fulfill yung requirements sa ASHRAE. And ASHRAE is also the reference ng mga hospitals around the world din, including the Philippines din.
Okay, so yun nga. So kasi
going back to that. However, for the government hospital, sige.
Okay, go ahead.
So for the government hospital, ang problema lang sa government hospitals, dapat sila kasi yung nangunguna sa pagiging example sa air conditioning ventilation sa healthcare
Okay.
Diba? So hindi lang sa air conditioning din, dapat nga ganun din sa pag-implement ng building codes natin. Dapat sila yung forefront rather than yung private sector. Kasi ang nangyayari, yung private sector ang nangunguna sa compliance sa mga batas natin.
Okay.
Yun yung medyo irony It's an open secret. Yeah.
Okay. Kasi
I think alam naman.
Yeah, the reason why we had this interview with you, engineer, is that a lot of people are scared, with especially if it's a confined space. Pag confined space, parang niisip nila paikot-ikot lang yung hangin. Kaya ikaw, being a professional mechanical engineer involved in the design of air conditioning, heat, ventilation, blah blah blah. So, are you now proposing, halimbawa, new mall with setup? Would you now have, I don't know, what do you think would be the new parameters na introduce mo as an engineer? Would you have more filters? Would you have, blah, blah? I really do not know. I don't know it from Adam. Expound lang ng konti.
Sige.
Okay.
Sige, I'll run down yung, okay.
Okay.
Actually, the two position statements, the two position statements, initially ASHRAE is easily downloadable sa Google. So type in ASHRAE position documents, infectious diseases or aerosols. Ang sinasabi doon kasi, okay, what is a position document? So a position document ni ASHRAE is a document that expresses yung views ng society on a particular topic, on a particular subject. So they issued the two position documents, particularly because of the pandemic and because of, in general, mga virus infection.
Okay.
So on the last, on the last table ng position document number 1, ito yung strategies niya for air conditioning and ventilation. Okay. So number 1 is dilution ventilation, wherein you bring in filtered air inside the space. Kasi ang ayaw natin mangyari is recirculated yung loob So we want to introduce outdoor air para kasi may minimum requirements yun Kasi kung walang outdoor air or walang fresh air coming inside, kasi medyo dirty ni air sa loob so we need to provide fresh air. So yun yung number 1 yun. Number 2 is temperature and humidity. So number 3 is personalized ventilation. Number 4 is local exhaust. Kapag sinabing local exhaust, ito yung kasi minsan may contaminants. So example sa laboratory, so kailangan ma-vent out yun Kailangan tanggalin yung amoy na yun para maging air still clean pa rin. Okay. Tapos nandun yung central system filtration and local air filtration. So very particular si ASHRAE sa filtration. So ibig sabihin, yung the air coming in, dapat may filters yan. Okay. That includes yung fan coil unit, yung air handling unit. When I say fan coil unit, ito yung mga air conditioning units na. Yung air handling unit, yung malalaki na sa mall or any establishment na may centralized aircon. So yung mga HUs na yan, air handling units, they condition the air through chilled water, then papalamigin yung hangin sa loob. And ito very particular. Upper room ultraviolet germicidal irradiation for yung sa space and sa duct and air handler.
Mhm.
So I think ang recommendation now is to provide UV na. Inside only sa air handling unit but also sa ducting din. Then may in-room flow regimes and differential pressurization. Okay. When you say differential pressurization, ito yung positive, neutral, or negative. So depende sa gamit ng space. Yeah.
Okay.
Example, yung positive, ginagawa yon because you don't want the contaminants coming in the space. Kasi for some reason. Yung negative pressure naman, ayaw mo ipakalat something inside the room. Kaya kailangan negative siya. So, yun ang difference ng negative and positive. Yung neutral is neutral. So, ibig sabihin, the space is not critical enough para magkaroon ng problema. Yeah. So, these are the strategies na ng recommendation ni Ashray. Yeah.
So, dito nyo lang naditinigan mga kasama sa All About Safety. Ngayon, mention about
I hope, kasi,
positive.
I hope naintindihan nila.
Okay. Naiintindihan mo, gagawin natin na layman sa akin. So, may sinabi kang positive,
Oo nga,
yung hangin, yung negative, yung hangin na nasa loob, di ba? If you are in ICU, di ba, yung may virus na sa loob nandun yung tao So, do you recommend na nandun it's going to be a negative air conditioning sa loob ng mga ICU o hospital? Paki-expound na lang yun.
Ang sa loob ng hospital, ang usually negative is yung isolation room.
Isolation room. Okay.
So kasi example, let's be particular. So kunwari may COVID-19 patient pumasok sa hospital, ang una na lang papasukin yung isolation room.
Okay.
So yung room is negative. Kasi ayaw mo kumalat yung hangin sa loob ng isolation room sa iba't ibang adjacent rooms. So may exhaust doon kasi kailangan may exhaust fan para maging negative. Tapos kailangan bago i-discharge sa labas, kailangan may filter uli and UV uli para paglabas ng hangin sa isolation, malinis pa rin siya. So ibig sabihin, kailangan malinis din yung ejection ng hangin. Hindi lang negative, dapat malinis din.
Yun ang parang maganda, yun ang parang contingency pala, no? So negative doon, meron kang exhaust fan. At tapos, doon sa exhaust na binubuga, meron ka uling cleaning agent yung sinasabi mong UV? Is that ultraviolet ba yan?
Although, ultraviolet siya, yes. But for isolation, required siya. But for other spaces, hindi siya required. However, dahil sa COVID-19, that might change. So we'll see. We'll see anong next standards ni Ashray. So sa ngayon, it's optional but recommended pa rin to use.
Okay. Kasi, alam mo, di ba parang mechanical engineering, marami. Di ba? May automotive, merong, ayan, katulad mo, HVAC, merong iba naman, maraming may maraming linya di ba? May petroleum, di ba? Sa branch ng mechanical. Tinitignan ko lang na napapag-usapan namin doon sa safety. Diba dapat meron na talagang designated hospital just for COVID-19 patients? Meron bang Philippine Mechanical Engineering Society na ganyan, may position?
So far, wala pang position yung PSME regarding this. Because I think lahat ng direction is through the DOH. Kasi during pandemic kasi, ang DOH ang primary primary in charge. So sila ang gumagawa ng policy natin. So actually going back sa tanong, better kung may dedicated area hospital for COVID-19 because at least yung facility is dedicated for them. Kasi sa hospital kasi in general, iba-iba kasi yung klaseng spaces doon So ibig sabihin ang engineering iba-iba din. So in terms of engineering, at least kapag COVID-19 concentrated yung engineering for the COVID-19 hospital. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, kaya ako na natanong yun. Kasi, di ba, sabi mo kasi sa isolation, we really do not know. The last pandemic was more than 100 years ago. So they're really no expert. But in China, where this virus, they say, originated or whatever, they said they built a new hospital, di ba? Mainly catering for COVID-19 patients. So, in the Philippines, kasi
Yes.
it's a planning, and then kayo, mga professional mechanical engineers, with other engineers online, ma-propose yan. So, hindi na I've been, just to tell you an example, we've been to Asian Hospital kasi my daughter had muscle spasm. What the hospital did, hindi kami pumunta ng ER or emergency room. There was another door mainly for non-COVID patients. Doon siya pinadaan and in X-ray siya, and then the X-ray was disinfected. Di ang galing, di ba? Kasi hindi nga siya COVID patient. So kung meron naman sariling hospital, kaya ako tinatanong, wala nang matatakot. And, there are a lot of people who have heart problems, of diabetes, who have kidney problems. So, kung meron talagang dedicated na yan, sa tingin ko, lahat ng rooms, maganda is yung negative, na ang lahat, negative yung pressure na nandoon sa loob.
Oh. Yes. When you see yung mga makeshift COVID hospital, may makeshift hospitals dedicated for COVID, halos kasi yung space is negative eh. So at least dedicated sa kanila. Yun eh. And di lang yun. One more reason ina-isolate yung ibang tao, ibang patients from the non-COVID patients sa COVID patients is kasi yung non-COVID patients, yung kanilang immune system kasi compromised din eh. So we don't want them exposed sa mga COVID patients. That's why better pahiwalain talaga. Yun yung isang reason din ng Department of Health natin.
Thank you very much, Engineer. Kasi sa ating mga late tuners, ulitin ko lang ulit. Kasi kanina, alam niyo naman, medyo mga garbled yung ating sound system. Our guest ay isang professional mechanical engineer, At siya talaga sa design. Siya nagdi-design po ng mga air conditioning ng mga malalaking mall, mga planta. Kung magiging ka-Facebook niyo to si Engineer Francis, silang mag-ama, sila ay very, very technical, Kailangan natin ng mga tao na I think planning is the of essence, Kasi katulad mo, di ba? Linya mo yan eh. So, mapasasabi mo na kailangan negative doon, di ba? Pero pag ibang kwarto ng ospital, hindi na pwede nang umikot-ikot yung virus doon. May possibility, di ba? Tama ba ako, Engineer?
Kapag hindi masyado napag-aralan yung space na yon, yes, yung risk goes high. Yun. So kailangan naka-planning. Planning is important talaga. Yun.
Yan ang buo natin ng mga guests, diba? So, iano natin, di ba? So, as you mentioned earlier ulit, minsan kasi late na mga nanonood sa atin. You've mentioned that design would, in the future, really change. This is a new virus. So, are you going, ikaw, bilang isang ibabaguhin mo ba yung mga, magpo-propose ka ba ng ganito na magiging design mo sa hospital sa future? O kaya, pwede ba yung negative na yan sa mga movie houses? Magawa ba yan doon para lahat tayo tinatanong ko lang, just having this sa mind, para, kasi bawal sa gym, di ba? Hindi na tayo mag-gym. Pwede ba yung system na yan magawa rin sa gym para hindi na, how do you conquer this virus through the air conditioning system? Yun lang, kung meron ka lang isang idea lang.
Okay. So may dalawang school of thought. So napag-usapan sa Europe and sa America.
Okay.
Ang Europe, ang suggestion nila 100% natural, natural air lang. Wala nang aircon. Medyo drastic. Unlike sa America, they don't want ayaw nila ng natural ventilation only. Kailangan may air conditioning pa rin at mechanical ventilation pa rin. Because of course, yung natural ventilated air, halos free from viruses. Pero nandun pa rin yung pollutants, pollution, dust, etc. Ang inaano yung American side is, yes, malinis yung natural air, but may dust pa rin yun eh. Bring it inside the space, hindi rin pwede yun. So, ang stand ng ASHRAE pa rin is still to use their published standards. Like, may recirculation pa rin, but you need to clean the air pa rin. You need to disinfect yung air. So, ang mangyayari dyan, parang ang direction is, ito I'm just parang future studies na lang to parang in the future, Ang mangyayari is it's more of ducted systems na because you want yung hangin na dumaan sa UV light, sa ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. You want them to pass through that processor para makill yung virus instantly. Well, hindi naman instantly. Kumbaga may certain time na dumaan sa UV light para mamatay siya. So, ibig sabihin, konting technical lang bear with me mga audience bear with me lang. So, kasi ang nangyayari kasi sa existing designs, yung return duct kasi, yung return air kasi, minsan hindi ducted. Kumbaga, pinapa-return nila through plenums, yung mga void ceilings. So, sa future designs, tingin ko magiging ducted na yung return. And hindi lang sa taas, hindi lang sa ceiling. So, dapat yung return nasa malapit sa floor. Because you want makuha ng air conditioning yung hangin para bumalik yung hangin para tapos may UV light sa air conditioning system para mamatay niya ma-disinfect niya yung hangin through UV light. So, ang mangyayari is parang yung air conditioning system becomes a cleaning mechanism ng space, yung hangin. So, pinapalinis din niya yung hangin. So, yan ang tingin ko mangyayari sa mga future designs. So, lumalabas parang halos healthcare design na yung mga ibang commercial establishments. Because you're adding more filters na, you're adding more UV light na, you're adding awareness sa mga tao, ducted returns. Kasi ang hospital kasi palaging ducted yung return duct, yung pabalik na hangin sa aircon. Kasi sa commercial, hindi mo kailangan gawin yun but sa hospital kailangan gawin yun. But today, mukhang kailangan na. Kasi you want to contain yung air, to control air para malinis siya uli. Ibabalik mo sa loob ulit.
Okay. Yung iba kasi hindi engineers, di ba? Pero tatanong ko lang rito para lilinaw. When you mention ducted return, di ba? Ito yung mga nakikita namin sa kisame, sa ceiling na ducting na galvanized, di ba? So, pag buga ng hangin, ito ngayon ba hinihigop uli ng parang blower, pinapasok doon sa ducting, tapos ilalabas, tapos papatayin mo ng UV ultraviolet rays? Ganun ba yun, ibig? O mali ako?
Ang common nila nakikita sa taas is yung supply duct. Yun yung galing sa HU. Okay. Ang malimit makita is yung return duct. Kasi yung return duct kasi pwede hindi na bumalik na ang through a duct problema sa existing designs kasi kung walang return duct is paano malilinis yun ng air conditioning system or ng duct system. Kasi kailangan linisin yun, kailangan siya dumaan sa UV light. So, ibig sabihin, ang return duct, yung higop side ng aircon, kailangan ducted yun para malagyan ng UV light, filtration, at para ma-consider para ma-disinfect yung space. So, ducted na yung supply side at return side ng air conditioning.
Galing. May ilalayo ko lang kasi may mga nagte-text sa akin dito, mga bata pa kasi ikaw daw professional mechanical engineer, di ba? More or less. Ano ba raw yung difference na ngayon nakikita nila minsan yung chiller sa yung ba raw ang compressor, yung chiller, ano ba raw ang difference ng mga yan? Chiller, yung compressor, blah 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 blah. Ano daw yung difference ng mga chiller na sa mga malalaking mall, ganyan?
Okay. Try to explain now. Simple lang.
Okay,
ang chiller plant, yung chiller plant, dito pinapalamig ang chilled water. Kasi yung chilled water, ginagamit yon sa panlamig ng hangin sa mga fan coil unit, sa mga air handling unit. So ang tawag sa system ito is a hydronic system or chilled water system. Kasi ang hangin sa loob, kailangan palamigin. Then yung heat rejection niya, kailangan kasi paalisin yung heat ng space, diba? So magagawa lang yun through chilled water. So yung init, papasok sa chilled water, then papush sa chiller plant. So yung chiller plant, papalamig niya uli yung chilled water uli. Then may reject niya through sa air. or sa cooling tower. Kasi kailangan ma-reject yung heat na yun from low temperature to high. So, ang direction kasi cold to high. Sorry, baliktad. Hot to cold. So, yan.
I see. Maraming salamat, engineer.
So, ang chiller plant is a refrigerating equipment para so may refrigerant sa loob. So, pinapalamig niya yung tubig sa loob. Yun. Para makuha yung temperature na hinihingi ng fan coil unit at air handling unit para mapalamigan yung space sa indoor spaces. Yan.
So unlike ito dun sa mga ordinary na may frio na ginagamit. Iba yung mga ibang ano difference ng frio?
Okay. Yung chiller may refrigerant pa rin sa loob.
Okay.
Industrial commercial grade at industrial grade.
Okay.
Ang difference lang sa window type and split type is yung window type and split type is ang tawag sa kanila is direct expansion. Okay. So when you say direct expansion, direct sila So yung refrigerant, pinapalamig yung hangin directly. Yun. Ang hydronic system and chilled water system, ang tawag sa indirect kasi sila So imbis na diretso sa hangin yung refrigerant, piyapadta mo sa tubig. So that's why it's called chilled water system. Ang nagpapalamig sa space is through the fan coil unit and air handling unit is yung chilled water. Then papalamigin ng refrigerant yung chilled water. So ang major difference is direct yung window type and split type at BRF. Ang hydronic is indirect kasi may presence of chilled water. Yeah. I hope naintindihan niyo yan.
Oo, kaya naman. Marami tayo mamaya. Papatingin ko nga mga safety engineers, safety officers, superintendent na sa Saudi, sila Owen Gonzalez, sila Gerald Trinidad na nalalaman nila ngayon na kasi nga because of this pandemic, nagbabago. Minsan kasi we go to ito definition sa itong programang ito ay dala sa inyo ng JLF Project International Inc. na kaibigan na isang magaling na inenero, magaling isang professional na engineer. Kaya in-explain na sa atin word for word at maraming salamat sa iyo, Francis. Kaya may mga tanong pa rito di ba? Okay nga. Kasi, di ba, binanggit ka kanina yung tungkol sa aircon. May mga tanong din kasi dito. Galing ito sa isa sa office mates ko no? Yung baraw virus meron daw sa study na dapat patayin na raw yung aircon dahil this virus does not thrive on humid atmosphere, medyo mainit ba raw. So katulad ng ginagawa ngayon, pasok ka ng mall, mag-grocery ako, mainit Ganun ba talaga nun? It does not really matter.
I'm not surprised na lumalabas yung ganyan idea. Because ang sabi kasi ng World Health Organization kasi, I think basa ng mga doktor yon, parang mas prefer na natural ventilated yung hospital. Actually, and yun din ang basis ng mga Europeans. Actually, it's valid. Valid naman kasi natural ventilated, diluted air, fresh air. So, kung fresh yung hangin mo is fresh air, then wala kang issue. Malinis
Okay.
However, sa Amerika, ang sinasabi nila kasi, yes, natural air is good, fresh air, free of virus, blah, blah, blah. Ang problema is yung pollutants, dust, chemical, odor, etc. Especially kung yung hospital mo is, example, ang space mo, ang building mo tabi ng EDSA, paano yun? You cannot get natural air or pure clean air sa tabi ng EDSA, diba? So yung kailangan linisin yun So, not all the time na applicable yung idea ng WHO. However, ang stand talaga ng mga engineers dyan is kailangan may mechanical ventilation pa rin. Kailangan pa rin na air conditioning pa rin because you want to control kasi yung temperature and humidity Kasi ang viruses and bacteria love humid climates kasi. So yun. That's why sa air conditioning, nililimit yung humidity para ma-contain yung meaning hindi medyo mabagal yung ang galaw ng virus. So important yung role ng air conditioning doon. So tutuloy pa rin yung air conditioning and ventilation pa rin. Mechanically. Tuloy pa rin yun.
Yan, nadinig natin kay Engineer Guevarra, tutuloy pa rin. Kasi nagtataka yung mga senior citizens na nakakausap ko. They are there in the loob ng supermarket. There's a queue, may pila. Pero mainit, sabi nila mainit. Kasi tinanong yung mga nando doon sa supermarket, directive po ng gobyerno yan na pababa namin yung temperature. So you could just imagine if you're a lady who's 55, 59, at napakainit. Kaya ako natanong yan nasasabi mo nga dito, mas maganda ngayon yung clean air pero may pollutants pa rin, di ba? Sabi mo, may pollutants na ano natin. Kasi maraming lumalabas na ideas. Now, going along that line, yung kailangan pa rin, sabi ng American Engineer, what's that? American Engineering Society, ano yun?
American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, Air Conditioning Engineers. ASHRAE.
ASHRAE, diba? Yun, diba? They prefer na may ganun pa rin air conditioning. At para sa late listeners uli natin kanina, yung European, I don't know kung European engineers, gano'n na gano'n. Yeah, they prefer na open air naman dahil mas safe, sabi nila. Tama ba? Pero the Philippines, we follow the American standard. Tama ba?
Yes, tama.
Follow the American standard. So, ganun kasi binabanggit ngayon, di ba? Parang nagki-criss-cross ito sa my mind. Ito, tanong ko na lang, di ba? So, napakaganda kung if you are bago kang graduate ng mechanical engineering, pumasa ka, maganda kumuha ka rin, di ba, ng sanitary engineering kasi this is parang magdadissect doon sa gitna yung sanitation, something like that, di ba? Kasi ang dami, I think maraming opportunities like mga nurses. Don't you think that nurses, they would no longer be in the 15,000-20,000 range, di ba? Wala na siguro sa mga after next year. We believe that they deserve a better pay than some other courses. So tinatingnan ko lang na kung okay ako, may anak ako na nagtapos ng sanitary engineering. Napakaganda pala na mag-enroll siya. Kasi normally, ang sanitary engineering civil, di ba? Maganda pala ngayon sila ng mechanical kasi pag sa air conditioning, itatanong ito Ano sa tingin mo? O wala rin? Hindi, ikaw, kwentuhan lang tayo.
Going back sa question kanina, going back sa yung tinaasan nila ng temperature sa mga supermarket and malls, I think ang purpose nila yon is para umalis kagad yung tao. Kasi mainit Sadya yun I think yun yung dahilan. More of yun yung dahilan nila. Para maging inconvenient para lumabas ka agad sa supermarket. Kasi kapag malamig kasi, they tend to stay. So, yun yung number one reason, I think. Actually, nabasa ko din yun. Tapos going back sa yung mga opportunities sa COVID-19. Kasi may saying for every problem there's an opportunity. So may lalabas na opportunities sa ganitong pandemic. Of course, hindi ko sinasabi na maganda yung pandemic, but may lalabas mga opportunities like you said, sanitary engineering, like yung now si example Zoom. Itong platform na to, Zoom.
Yes.
So it used to be like normal for meetings lang dati nung pre-COVID-19. Now, lumaki yung company three times already because dumama yung kanilang capacity to serve yung mga meetings. So, ibig sabihin, yung opportunity went to the digital world. Kaya ang sinasabi ng NEDA is kailangan i-digitize yung economy. Example, yung mga delivery sa mga apps. So, biglang dumami sila. Yung Food Panda, Lala Food, what else? Meron pa isa Lala Food, Grab Food, and Food Panda.
Food Panda, yeah.
So, madaming opportunity. The medical profession, mas kailangan sila in the next, hindi lang 2 years I think 5 years pa yan. So, madaming na opportunities na lumabas pa during this pandemic.
Ngayon, tinitignan ko, di ba? More or less, di ba? Kasi yung marami asymptomatic wala silang symptoms.
Yes.
Marami. Pabalik na uli yung construction, di ba? Ikaw, you would be exposed also, di ba? Pupunta ka ng mga mainly siguro consultant ka, hindi masyado, pero there will be times that you would be visiting your job site, di ba? Hindi mo alam kung sino yung kaharap mo doon o ano yung nangyayari doon. Meron tayong mga protocols na dapat gawin, di ba? Yung sabi nga nila, maskara, face shield, guantes, and so forth. Ang tanong ko doon, di ba, more or less, ito ang new normal as an engineer. Kasi tayo nasa construction, sanay tayo dyan, naka-helmet, naka-ano. Pero yung mga nandun talaga sa ibang life, no? Housewife, di ba? Mga accountant. Yung mga nasa opisina, mga clerk, uneasy silang magsuot ng face mask eh. Tayo, pag nasa construction, talaga maglalagay ka dahil maalikabok eh. O maglalagay ka wing ka eh. Yung resistance sa kanila, meron ka na bang nakikitang resistance dyan sa inyong mga project, sa mga tao, sa paggamit ng itong PPE?
Kumbaga ang sa construction, mga contractors, pinag-uusapan nila about yung mga guidelines, yung mga procedures.
Yes.
Maybe not resistance, but I think ang word is more of parang difficulty to implement yung procedures. I think yung difficulty ba? Kasi originally yung government natin initially di pwede construction, but now they allowed it, pero with conditions, with procedures, with guidelines. So I read some of the guidelines, I read some of the requirements. Medyo marami-rami siya. So ang problem is I think ang sinasabi ng construction contractors in general, yung difficulty to implement. Maybe siguro at first, siguro mahirapan lang at first. Pero kapag nasanay na kumbaga may incubation period pa yan. May time na mahirapan, but I think one of these days magiging normal na lang na may gloves ka, normal na lang may face shield ka, na may face mask, and yung procedure na kailangan i-check yung temperature, i-check yung senyales ng mga tao kasi nilalag yun kung may temperature change ka or wala So lahat yun, kumbaga may procedure na medyo mahaba-haba. So I think it's yung more of difficulty lang, but I think I'm pretty sure naman na magagawa ng paraan as we go along.
Okay. Kasi ako dito sa aming, I have a small company. Unlike you have a very big company. Inadapt namin yung sinabi mo, the face mask and the face shield.
Yes.
Kasi kung wala yung face shield, your eyes and sometimes part of your are prone to catching the virus, diba? So, do you also recommend yung face shield ng engineer para sa ating mga late na nakikinig ko follow sa All About Safety?
Okay, sa HVAC design manual for healthcare facility, so may sinasabi doon is tawag doon yung 2-meter proximity between dalawang tao.
Okay.
Example, may coughing and sneezing. Ang problema, sabi sa libro na yon, wala na magagawa yung HVAC doon. Kasi sa sobrang lapit, sa sobrang mabilisan, wala magagawa yung aircon doon or ventilation. Okay. However, that's why ang recommendation ng design manual is kailangan may personal protective equipment ka. So it's highly recommended pa rin na still wear yung face mask. I think ang government natin, face mask is the minimum I think for yung mga frontliners, they should wear yung face shield pa rin at yung face mask and yung surgical gown. But for us, yung nag-attend ng offices sa everyday life, face mask is very mandatory. It's mandatory. Pero yung face shield, yan. I think I find it optional na lang. If the people want to wear face shield, okay lang yun. Okay lang. At least they're more protected than the face mask lang.
Ginawa ko lang kasing contingency kasi doon din sa eyes sa nose So para uli sa ating mga late listeners, di ba? Pisang kasi ang ating pong guest si Engineer Francis Guevarra, isang professional mechanical engineer. Ang ating pong topic air conditioning during this pandemic times. At ito pong programang ito ay dala po sa inyo ng JLF Project International Inc. Mga experienced riggers, crating, equipment, handling specialist. Kung meron ho kayong mga problema o meron kayong machinery equipment and you go up, down, or sideways, call on JLF Project. Engineer, ito rin tatanong ko na, Morris, you've been traveling around the world, di ba? Ngayon, discuss natin yung pag sumakay ka ng eroplano ngayon, you go to conferences abroad. So, ganun din, di ba? Magkakaroon kayo ng social distancing sa eroplano. Meron ding aircon ng eroplano. So, yung design ng eroplano bang air conditioning, halos parehas ba yan sa design ng aircon ba sa kotse o sa building? Yan ang gusto kong tanong sa'yo.
Yung example, yung air conditioning sa aeroplano, of course, I just told you concept lang, but yung concept na nun is no different from air conditioning sa loob ng building.
Okay.
However, ang first thing na gagawin is, I think, hindi nila ipapaupo yung middle seat. I've seen parang mga prototypes, mga mock-ups ng mga airline seating arrangements. Na ang balak nila is hindi nila ipapagamit yung middle seat. So you only have yung aisle seat lang at yung window seat mo. So yun yung first nila para ma-maintain yung physical distancing. But for the aircon, air conditioning ventilation ng aircrafts, I'm sure yung mga research, I'm sure that there'll be more research about that. Kasi kailangan kasi malinis palagi yung hangin yun Although before pre-COVID-19, alam naman ng engineers and mga researchers na yung air conditioning ng aeroplano is challenging because hindi siya, you have to clean it all the time Kasi medyo kailangan more detail tingin lang sa air conditioning aeroplano. Kasi you have all passengers all over the world and kailangan ma-consider din yung ano klaseng hangin that can come out na lang. So I think tingin ko lang not so far from yung kay Ashley, I think they'll devise a way paano linisin yung hangin na yun. Yung sa I think I'm not sure kasi kung may UVGI na yun sa loob ng aeroplano, but I think they will provide more cleaning. Yeah, tingin ko. Kasi kailangan ma-disinfect pala yung sa aeroplano. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Engineer. So kasi we are all speculating about more what do we do, but I think you're very right. It has to be clean. There has to be UV light, yung binanggit na may mga ducting, di ba? Na ano yun yung sinabi mo, yung pagbalik naka-duct na para hindi
yung return duct.
Return duct. Yun ang bago sa akin.
Yung return plane, mawawala na yun.
I see. Okay. So, ito pa isa, di ba? Yung sa kotse. Air conditioning din yan, sa kotse.
Yes.
Nag-text na naman takin dito, kasamaan ko sa office, si Ethel, di ba? Pag araw ba nasa kotse ka, kailangan ba raw naka-face mask?
Ano daw?
Kailangan ba raw naka-face mask pag nasa loob ng air conditioning na kotse?
Okay. So one of the recommendations is physical distancing pa rin. So ibig sabihin, may driver pero yung occupant sa likod na. So wala nang gamit ng passenger seat anymore. So ang gagamit is yung ipapagamit mo yung likod. So para lumalabas, if your car is 4-seater, para maging 2-seater na lang. So everything's 50%. So example, kung van ka naman, isang tao per bench, parang isang tao per row na lang. Yan ang lumalabas. For the air conditioning, so currently, I'm not sure kung na-consider ng manufacturer yung paano linisin. I think ko filter lang yung sa kotse lang. I'm not sure kung may UV light. So, but I'm sure sa mga future designs sa mga kotse, I think they will consider more of disinfection ng hangin sa loob ng kotse, not just yung filtration. Currently kasi I think filtration yung mga kotse, but I'm pretty sure sa mga next few years, naka-disinfect na yung mga sasakyan natin.
So, just for their protection, face mask na rin, di ba? Hindi natin alam, kinukuha rin yung hangin nun sa labas, di ba? Fresh air being sucked in by the evaporator, right?
To be sure, mag-face mask ka lang sa loob ng sasakyan. To be sure.
To be
Kasi
sure.
we're not sure kasi saan nanggagaling eh. So, as a protective measure, magsuot ng face mask pa rin sa loob. Yeah.
Face mask pa rin. So, ayan, Ma'am Ethel, yung sinasagot ni Engineer yung katanungan, mas maganda nga na mag-face mask ka nga. Mag-face mask ka rin. So, ayan, iba kasi sa ating pandemic times. So, yung malalaking malls, di ba, hindi na sila ganun magiging kalaki, no? So, yung mga, di ba, nakikita ko sa labas, yung malalaki silang mga parang, mga compressors. Babaguhin nyo na ba ang design yan? Kayo mga HVAC engineers, nalilitan nyo na yung mga compressor nyo? Ganun ba yung mga mangyayari doon sa mga... Kasi parang palilitin o palilitin na yung kung kunti na lang ang makakapasok, hindi na malalaki.
I think ang gagawin ng mga malls, example, if they nakikita nila during their data na medyo mababa yung load, they could just turn off naman yung ibang chillers na hindi gumagana. Na hindi naman kailangan pala. So, minsan itong mga malls ito, they have more than 3 chillers. So, example, if the mall has 5, ang normal nila is 4 sa pre-COVID-19, before this crisis happened. Tapos when they're operational ngayon, posible kasi baka dalawa na lang gumagana. So they choose not to operate all. So actually, hindi masyadong issue for them. I think more of issue is yung sa air side eh. Kasi currently ang design nila is return plenum. So hindi ducted yung return side. So ang problema is yung hangin kumakalat. And ang gusto natin is to control yung hangin na yun. So maybe in the next few months, I don't know who's gonna implement this, but ang mangyayari is yung ducting, ng return ducting ko lang this is my just my future opinion lang based sa nababasa ko and based sa mga future designs sa mga researchers. I think yung mga return ducts will come in over. So, meaning halos ducted na lahat ng return. Then, ang return na yon hindi sa ceiling, kundi sa malapit sa floor. Even for malls. Kasi, gusto natin kuhanan yung hangin na yun eh. Kasi yung tao, gumagalaw sa baba. And nandun, example, may nakaligaw na virus. Example lang naman. I'm not saying naman na meron, but the possibility is there. At least yung virus, makakuha ka agad ng return duct sa baba, sa floor level. Then papunta sa HU para ma-disinfect ng UV light and filtered by UV light. So I think ang ginagawa ng ang role talaga ng air conditioning at ventilation is to disinfect yung space. To clean the space all the time. I think yun ang magiging role nun. Ang ventilation naman is to provide diluted air. To provide fresh air para yung space mawala ng contaminants at the same time.
We have 10 more minutes. Yung huling 5 minutes kasi is para sa ito naman yung huling-huling sa isa sa mga question ko. Tungkol dyan sa ducted return. Okay. Sinasabi mo sa floor. Would it be a duct na nandiyan sa flooring mismo na meron siyang parang opening na hinihigop yung hangin na yun? Ganun ba yung design na ganun?
Sa wall lang, sa wall. Sa wall lang.
Nasa wall, pero nasa baba.
Sa baba. Yan ang tingin ko mangyayari sa mga future designs.
Ang galing sa mga listeners po natin, lalo-lalo na yung mga nakikinig sa atin. Siguro Kailangan natin ulit Engineer Francis Guevarra na magkaroon ng another this one kasi this is highly technical. Swerte nga ng ibang nakikinig sa atin, di ba? Kung ikaw ay safety officer, alam mo yung mga gagawin, alam mo yung mga ano, it is a food for your thought, di ba? Ilang taong ka na dyan sa linya mong yan, you're sharing it with us, at maraming salamat. At bago ko bibigyan muna kita ng floor para yung mga, baka may webinars ka, baka meron kang mga training, pwede mong batiin at pag may time tayo, itatanong ako sa iyo. Sige, Engineer, the floor is yours.
Okay. So, good afternoon ulit sa lahat. So, nagpapasalamat ako sa DWL for this opportunity to share yung aking insights, particularly sa air conditioned ventilation sa COVID-19. And I think the concept really is kailangan i-protect ourselves. I think kailangan be aware na the virus is still there. Wala siyang gamot, no vaccine yet. So that's why ang role natin as individuals is kailangan nandun pa rin yung physical distancing, nandun yung social distancing, nandun yung face mask, nandun yung personal protective equipment, including face shield, and madaming procedures, madaming guidelines for that. So nagpapasalamat din ako sa mga listeners. Kung I think dahil sa mga listeners ng radio station, wala kami dito. So nandito kami because of you. So nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat, mga nakapagpakinig, na be safe, take care, and stay healthy all the time. So yun lang. Good afternoon.
Baka nga Sole, kamusta mo rin nag-give my regards kay Engineer ng Guevarra, ang iyong father na naging guest din natin. Para sa mga hindi nakakaalam,
yes.
Propose po na igawan po ng systematic approach ang EDSA. No, ang tatay po ni Engineer Francis, si Engineer Nanding Guevarra. At ako naman po nagpapasalamat every Saturday, yung mga binabati ko rin yung ang mayor ng Maynila, si Mayor Isko Moreno, at ang kanyang mabuting secretary, si Konsehal Letlet Sarkal, at ang mga Triskelion dyan, mga frontliners. Ang binabati ko rin ang Triskelion Alumni Association o organization o tao ni headed ng TGP party si Congressman Bong Teves. At iba pa natin, o nga pala, ang dito sa Cavite, no? Si Mayor dito sa Bacoor, si Mayor Lani Mercado, kanyang asawa ni si Senator Bong Revilla. Magandang hapon po. Binabati ko rin ang aking mga magulang, si Cesar, si Purita, kapatid si Vincent, si Bobby. Ang aking may bahay na si Pam. Ikaw, Engineer Francis, kung ewan ko, baka mamaya sinabi mo yung Food Panda, meron kaming buffalo wings, no? We have barbecue, we have sweet and sour, we have a lot of dishes for wings. So it is owned by my wife, Bistro 76, and it's being cooked right in our kitchen. It's clean, it's safe. We're going to expand through delivery kasi may maliit kaming dito store sa may Dasma Cavite, bawal nang mag-dine-in. So we are into delivery right now. And hopefully makapunta kami dyan sa Alabang to deliver food. Yan. Sinasabi nga ni Engineer Francis kanina, nag-text ang aking wife, yung kinakausap na yan. Kayo nga yung mga bagong magiging business, yung mga Food Panda, Grab Food, blah, blah, blah. So we are really trying very hard also. At nagpapasalamat din ako sa DWBL. At of course, si Engineer Francis na binibigay niya yung expertise na gratis, no? Libre po ito. Siya po ay sabi na siya basta po sa air conditioning, yan. Susunod ko sigurong i-guest na si kasamahan mo rin na nag-lecture sa PSME, si Engineer Arnold Cabuay sa refrigeration. Refrigeration is the new thing. Ikaw kasi sa aircon, dalawa raw yan di ba? air conditioning,
Yes.
and refrigeration, di ba? So, meron pa tayong meron pa tayong 5 minuto pa para isa na lang uli ng yung ikaw naman yung natin. Bakit ba yung dati kasi yung una nasagot mo na pero baka may nakalimutan ka pa eh. Bakit ba kumuha ka ng mechanical engineering dahil ang tatay mo ba ay mechanic? What was the reason? Sinundan mo pa yakap ng tatay?
During that time, kasi yung brother ko is electrical engineer, ako mechanical engineer.
Okay.
So, during that time, parang for some reason, hindi namin alam yung gusto namin. So, hindi namin alam eh. So, since nandiyan si Guevarra, so yung ginagawa niya, sa office niya, so, okay, then nag-mechanical electrical lang kami. So, ganun lang actually. So, di naman siya pumilit. Kumbaga, dahil maybe, I think it's more of exposure. I think if there's one reason, I think it's exposure. Kasi nung bata kami ng brother ko, nakikita namin yung office eh. We saw how my father worked. So sa design, sa drafting, paano mag-calculate, paano mag-latag ng mga layout. So nakita namin siya in a young age. So I think na-expose kami, then eventually, yeah, yun na yun. So everything started from there. I think importante exposure. No different from yung fathers, gusto nila ipa-swimming yung mga anak nila. And one day magiging athlete sila. So ganun lang siya. So exposure is very important. Kung example, isang family na gusto yung anak nila to pursue something, exposure is a very powerful influencing force ba. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have only 1 minute left. At ano pa bang engineer o wala na?
So ginigreet ko yung parents ko just in case nakikinig sila. Yung sister ko, si Monica at si Dino, yung brother ko. So yung mga staff sa Guevarra and Partners, so nagpapasalamat daw sa kanila for their work during this pandemic. Kasi currently, we're working from home. So yeah, nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat.
Okay. So nagpapasalamat din ako sa Engineer Francis at this is all about safety with Tito J, DWBL 12:42 a.m. every Saturday. And this is Tito J saying to you, smile and be safe. So, thank you very much, Engineer Francis. Maraming salamat. Till our next testing po. Salamat po. Thank you.
Maraming salamat din. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.